The following program was produced by a community producer.
In just 15, you'll learn the way to stand up strong and have your say. Special ed's a winding road.
Hello, and welcome to the 15-Minute Advocate. I am your 15-Minute Advocate, Arlene Velleman. Today we have a packed show with lots of good information for you on the special ed process. But as always, before I begin, I do want to make sure it is clear that I am not a special education lawyer. I am a special education advocate with many years of special ed experience and training. The first thing up today is a question that gets asked of me frequently, and it has come up often over the years. And that is about having a situation where you are a bilingual parent, a parent who English is not your first language, and you have all these documents and things that you got to look at, and you're going into meetings with vocabulary like FAPE and push in, pull out. What do you do? Massachusetts law, and I do also believe many other states have it, that all documents must be translated into the language of your preference. How do you get that to happen? Also, too, you can have an interpreter in the meeting as well. How do you do it? You send an email to the special ed lead person in your building, and I would also include the special ed director in your district or city, and say to them very simply, I am requesting all documents be translated into whatever the language is and have a qualified, now that's an important word, qualified, I'm going to get back to that in 1 minute, a qualified interpreter at all special education related meetings. Let me explain to you about that word qualified. You don't want Miss Smith down the hall coming in and interpreting. You want to make sure that everything you're hearing, everything you're saying is equally translated into both languages. Most districts contract with companies that vet and test and make sure they have qualified interpreters. Some cities do it themselves. If you are deaf or hard of hearing, you are going to want to have a qualified and certified interpreter there. And those are available through Mass Commission for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, or separate companies, private companies do have interpreters available. So let's say you're getting your documents translated into your language, you go into the meeting, and there's nobody there, or there's not somebody qualified. Say, for example, if you're deaf, you have somebody who took ASL 2 interpreting. You very politely say, I would like to reconvene this meeting when an interpreter who is qualified, again, that word qualified, is available. Thank you so much. Go. That will have to be documented in the IEP process and on the IEP itself that you asked for a qualified interpreter and you asked for a reconvention. So please make sure that you do that, okay? And again, if you have any other questions for me, please email me at 15minuteadvocate@gmail.com, and I will be happy to answer any of your questions right at the top of the show, and I will make sure I do it confidentially so no one will know that you're the one asking. So now let's get into the good stuff of this meeting, of this show. You're getting ready for the meeting, okay? You've got the evaluation going on. That's where we left it. And you're ready to go. You have the 30 school days to have something happen for your child. But what do you do during those 30 days? I'll tell you. If you remember, we talked about having that notebook, and I told you to get it at Staples, Ocean State Job Lot, Dollar Tree, and in that you're going to have your different sections. You're going to have a section with the parental rights, any forms that the school district sent you, your samples of your child's work, anything like that you're going to have in there ready to go. But you got to keep that up to date. Oh, and the email section as well. So you want to keep that up to date through those 30 working days. Also, make sure if you have had any outside evaluations done during that time, make sure that gets in there and there's an extra copy available to give the team when you go into the IEP meeting. But what's the best tool you can have to get this all organized? Let me show you. This. This is the great tool for you. And you're going to say, this is a bag. What are we going to do with it? You're going to put it near the door or someplace where you see it all the time. And in that, you're going to put your notebook and any other documents that you want to have to bring with you to the meeting. That is so important because the day of the meeting, you are going to be so stressed and you're going to feel so overwhelmed. And now what's going to happen is, what am I going to do? Have this there and ready to go. Okay? So we have that. But what is something else that you can be doing? Another thing that you can be doing is this. This is a form that I will be happy to send to you at 15minuteadvocate@gmail.com if you request it. And it's a very simple form, and I didn't create it. I didn't. But what it is it has all these different things that you can start working on filling out. Because in the IEP itself, there's right up at the front, there's going to be a section for parental concerns. And that has to go directly from whatever you send or give this team leader directly into the IEP. It is not an English composition test. You can write it any way you want. You can put it in bulleted lists, whatever works. And it is the most important thing that you can be doing during the 30 days. So here's the thing what you can do. You can start planning at night when you're all cozy on the couch. Grab a clipboard, grab your paper, and you sit down and you're going to answer these questions. You're going to want to know, what do you see as the strengths of your child? What do we want to know about that child that's so positive and so wonderful about them learning? Another thing that we want to know, behavior. What kinds of behaviors concern you as a parent? What do you want the school to be addressing? Can they not sit down? Can they not organize their work? What are things that are going on? That's really important. Another thing is social interactions. Social interactions, how do they hang out with their friends? Do they have friends? How are they with adults? How are they with teachers? How are they outside in the world in general when you go to Market Basket or something? That's important too, because maybe that is a goal area for your child. The last one is also important, concerns. What are your concerns for your child? These are the things that, as we learned in our Federation training, what are the things that keep you awake at night? Be honest with yourself. This one, I feel like that takes the longest to do. And that's the one that you're going to want to take this, put it down, look at it a few days later, and add on to it. Another thing you want to include that's on this form as well is, what do you do at home that works for your child? Do you have to have a schedule for your child so they know what they're doing? Do you need large print? Do you need stickers to motivate them? What do you have to do to make things work for them? Put that in there, because those are the kinds of things that could land up in an IEP as an accommodation, which the team might never come up with. But you as the expert, you as the parent know and have figured out. And that's what's really important. Then the last part that you have to do, that's a little bit more challenging. If your child is ages 3 to 13, what they want for their futures, what their concerns are, what their dreams are, their aspirations are, that gets into the IEP as well. If they're 3 to 13, they are not going to be invited to the IEP meeting. So you want to sit down and have that conversation with your child as much as you can, depending upon their functioning and what their language skills are, and ask them and be honest. And you try as much as you can to bullet or get their words down, because that's what's going to go into the IEP. And it could be something as simple, I want to be a fireman. Okay, get that down. That's okay. They want to be a doctor, a lawyer. What do they like about school? I love sports. I want to play on the Red Sox. That's all important, and get that down. And that's the kind of thing that you can do over several sessions. You can do it, again, at the table, over dessert, over dinner. If they're young enough and you're still tucking them in at night, do it then. And it's really important. If they're 14 to 18, they will be invited to the IEP meeting, and they will be asked to speak for themselves. You having this conversation with your child at home during those 30 school days is very important, because you want to get it down in writing for them. I would suggest for kids maybe a bulleted list, and they can go in and they will have this in front of them, and they can either read from it, they can have it as a crutch, and like I'm holding on to this right now, anything like that that they can do. And remember, they are going to be sitting in this meeting, and right in front of them, they're going to have all these people. They're going to have people talking about scores, and their teachers, and the principal maybe, special ed people, and they're going to be sitting there, and they're going to be nervous and stressed. This will help immensely. And you want to make sure that you can do this online and send it as an email, so it goes in ahead to the team leader. You can make copies of it and bring it with you to the meeting and hand it out then. Whatever works for you is great. Now, what else can you be doing? So that will be going in there. Another thing that's going to be happening is 2 days before the meeting, you're going to be, 2 school days, I should say, before the meeting, you're going to be getting all the testing reports. And no lie, that is going to be daunting. I mean, you're going to get psychological reports, you're going to get ed testing reports, and whatever else is being tested, speech and language. And there's going to be a lot of things in there you might not understand. But what I want you to do, again, when it's quiet and you're kind of rested, sit down, read them over, highlight things that you don't understand, things that you're going to ask questions with. But then these guys become your new best friends. Why is sticky paper so good? What I do, and I encourage my clients to do, is to take a sticky paper and write their questions near where the information is that they don't understand or they have a question about. You take it and you just stick it in the margin like that. So it'll be sticking out. You can use a bigger sticky note like I have over here, whatever works. And then you have the question right here. You can also write little notes to yourself as you're going through the meeting. But this is huge, whatever you have to do to help yourself. But I love sticky papers. They stick out. You can take them off and you can put them someplace where you can have them. But this is so helpful. And you want to put those in your bag as well. So I'm going to put this in my bag right now. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is this. Yeah, a notepad. You're going to say, huh? Why? During the meeting, you're going to want to be taking notes. Some parents like to take it on a laptop, all to you. But like when you're going around and at the beginning of the meeting, people are going to be introducing themselves. And it's, you're going to forget who they are and the stress of a meeting. So what you can do is just write down Miss Smith, Gen Ed teacher. While they're introducing themselves, you've got this information in front of you. You can say, so Miss Smith, could you tell me what you do with my child during the day? Oh, okay. And you have this, and you refer back to this during the meeting because you are going to forget what the name of the psychologist is, what the nurse's name is. You're going to be forgetting that because, you're under stress and you're trying to advocate for your child. A simple thing like a notebook pad really works. And I would put that right in my bag as well. So there you go. At this point now, we have you ready to go into the IEP meeting. Within 45 days, school days, from the time that you sign the initial evaluation permission to the 45th day, school day, you're going to have a meeting. In the future episode, I'm going to talk to you about what you can expect. But you're going to go in prepared, ready to go, and now you're going to be strong. So, with that being said, and I want to make sure that I thank people for helping make this show possible. Stephanie Powers in the booth is my producer director. James and the UMA staff for the facilities and the equipment. And I can't forget my friend Connor Smith for the song. So until next time, don't forget, you can email me. You can also get information at the 15-Minute Advocate on podcast at Spotify, Amazon, and Apple, or check my website at av/advocate.com. So until next time, I'm Arlene Velleman, your 15-Minute Advocate.
In just 15, you'll learn the way to stand up strong and have your say. Special ed's a winding road will help you carry that heavy load. The 15-minute